In the quiet town of Emmaus, nestled among rolling hills and fertile fields, lived a woman named Naomi. Naomi was known for her kindness and generosity, always willing to help her neighbors and those in need. Despite her outward strength, she carried a heavy burden of guilt and sorrow deep within her heart. Years ago, she had made choices that she deeply regretted, and though she sought forgiveness, she struggled to forgive herself. One day, news reached Emmaus that Jesus of Nazareth was passing through on his way to Jerusalem. The town buzzed with excitement, and people gathered to catch a glimpse of the man who was known for his miraculous healings and profound teachings. Naomi, too, decided to go, hoping to find some solace for her troubled soul. As Jesus entered the town, he was surrounded by a crowd of eager followers. Naomi stood at the back, hesitant to push forward. She watched as he healed the sick, comforted the grieving, and spoke words of love and grace. Something about his presence drew her in, and she felt a glimmer of hope ignite within her. Gathering her courage, Naomi made her way through the crowd and approached Jesus. With a trembling voice, she said, "Lord, I have carried a heavy burden of guilt for many years. I have asked for forgiveness, but I cannot seem to forgive myself. How can I find peace?" Jesus turned to Naomi, his eyes filled with compassion and understanding. "Naomi," he said gently, "my grace is near, closer than you can imagine. Your burden is not yours to carry alone. I have come to bring you freedom from guilt and shame. Trust in my grace and let go of your past." He placed his hand on her shoulder, and Naomi felt a warmth spread through her entire being. It was as if a weight had been lifted from her heart. "Your faith has brought you here," Jesus continued. "Now, accept my grace and know that you are forgiven. Live in the freedom and peace that comes from God's love." Tears streamed down Naomi's face as she felt an overwhelming sense of relief and peace. "Thank you, Lord," she whispered. "I will hold on to your grace and let it guide me." From that moment on, Naomi's life changed. She no longer carried the weight of her past mistakes. Instead, she embraced the grace and forgiveness that Jesus had offered her. She became a beacon of hope and compassion in Emmaus, sharing her story with others who struggled with guilt and sorrow. Years later, Naomi would tell her grandchildren about the day she met Jesus. "Remember," she would say, "no matter what you have done, Jesus' grace is always near. It is a gift that frees us from our past and allows us to live in peace and joy. Trust in His grace, and you will find the strength to forgive yourself and others." And so, the story of Naomi and Jesus spread throughout the region, bringing hope and healing to many. It reminded people that no matter their past, they could find peace and forgiveness in the grace of Jesus, who was always near, offering love and redemption to all who sought Him.